First of all, my name's Krish, and I help young men improve their mental health. Just very quickly in the description, just my Discord username if you just want to add me. So 3-4 years ago, COVID lockdown happened, and basically the whole entire day I was just cooped up inside my house. Now, of course, I still had like online school and shit that I had to go to, but I didn't want to go to that shit. So usually what I ended up doing was most of our classes were on Zoom, and so it's technically just required for most students to keep their camera on. But I didn't listen to that. I just kept my camera off. And usually what I'd be doing behind the computer would be either jerking off. I'm not even joking when I say that, literally. Or just what most students do whilst they're at normal school anyway, which is just scroll on their phone, right? And so every single day, I remember I always used to like check the screen time every single day just to like see. And I was getting like 14, 15 hours, literally per day. That was a normal day. 14, 15 hour screen time every single day. Even just like a few weeks ago, I remember I just wasted a full day literally just doing nothing but just like being on my phone. Like the algorithm gets me too, I'm not gonna lie. Scrolling on fucking YouTube shorts. And then I remember checking the screen again, it was like 14, 15 hours, and I felt like the time was just wasted. It was. But I remember just feeling like so just like sad that day. I remember just feeling like just like some reason just like depressed after I saw that. And then it just clicked and I was like, wait, hold on. Even just keeping one bad habit in your routine every single day will actually fuck your mental health. So again, 3-4 years ago, I was doing all of the bad habits, right? I was watching porn every single day. I was playing video games every single day for 16 hours. I was on my phone, again, 14, 15 hours every single day. Also, I used to do it whilst I was playing games. So imagine this, right? You also probably do this too, which is like you play a game, but for some reason that's not stimulating enough. And so you grab your phone, then you sit down and you also play the game whilst your phone is like, I don't know, fucking playing some like Dan TDM YouTube video. And I remember when I first tried to quit my phone addiction. And I'm not gonna lie to you, even still to this day, sometimes I just find myself just like wasting time on my phone. I'm not gonna lie. But it was way less than it was before. Usually it was like 14, 15 hours every single day. Now it's probably more like 5, which that's huge progress, right? But even still, 5 hours for me, when I look at it, some of it's spent watching podcasts and listening to music and whatnot, but a lot of it's spent just fucking scrolling. I can easily get it down to at least 2 hours per day, 3 hours per day, which I know might seem insane for a lot of people. The only way that I was able to do that was to replace it with something else. So here's the thing, right? If you spend the majority of your day on your phone, which probably most guys tend to do, right? If they're not playing games, if they're not watching porn, they're probably just like on their phone. And so I know at least I was. And so when you try and quit just being on your phone, it doesn't do anything. All these dudes are like, you should spend less time on your phone, but they don't actually tell you what the fuck that even means. You should spend less time on your phone, but you should spend more time doing other shit. So for example, I remember a few years ago, I went on this trip to Canada with my family, right? And usually during any trips that we go on, I find that my screen time is literally just like an hour of me just like maybe just listening to music or something. Why? Well, because we're doing shit the whole day. We're like going around visiting this place, we're eating at this place, we're visiting family here, we're like going here. And so it's like the whole day is just filled up with us doing shit. So when your whole day is usually filled up with you watching porn and playing games and being on your phone, at least it was for me. When my whole day was filled with that and then I tried to quit, I found it so hard. Why? Because I didn't replace it with anything. I didn't have anything else. So you need to replace the time that you spend on your phone with something else. At least that's what I did. So what I did was I replaced the time that I spent scrolling on Instagram with instead doing a similar activity, which was consuming content, but instead of consuming useless content, I just started reading books instead. That's it. The one simple change I made is started reading books, I started watching and listening to podcasts. And that's really it. And also watching like educational videos like this. Because here's the thing. Consuming content is like, a lot of people say, oh no, consuming content's bad. You shouldn't be a content consumer. You should only be a content producer and stuff like that. But consuming the right type of content will actually be pretty valuable. So as long as you don't consume brain dead content, if you don't consume random girls shaking their ass on TikTok or something like that, if you don't consume that, instead you watch educational videos, instead you read books, That's fine. Why? Because you're actually just like learning something. If you can actually pay attention to. And the way to pay attention to stuff is one, meditation, which is an answer that you don't want to hear, right? Because I remember when I first heard about how to improve your attention span, number one, meditation, I was like, what? Really? You're going to tell me this again? Probably a lot of people have told you to meditate. Maybe this is the first time you're hearing somebody tell you, you don't need ADHD medication to improve your attention span. You just need to sit there and just focus on one thing. It's actually true. That's how I improve my attention span, which is, well, two ways. Meditating, reading, and watching long form educational content. And so the way to do it is, or at least the way I did it, was you're doing the thing, you're meditating, you're reading, you're consuming the educational content, and then your mind starts to wander a little bit, you know what I mean? It starts to think about something else. I got this homework assignment that I have to do. Someone didn't respond to me on fucking Discord or something. I got like this work thing that I have to do. I'm thinking about the girl that I have a crush, something like that, right? And so your mind wanders, which is just natural, right? Then how meditation works, how you actually improve your attention span by doing these things is you say, wait a second, I was just mindless for the past 2 minutes. I wasn't paying attention to what these guys were saying. I wasn't like actually reading the sentence on this page. So then what you do is you go and you refocus back onto the breath. Oh man, excuse me, I just need to sneeze. So again, what you do is you refocus back onto the breath after your mind has wandered. Does that make sense? So like every time I'm like eating something, for example, or every time I'm watching a long form podcast, what I usually do is I'm watching it, I'm reading the book, and then my mind wanders as well. I've been meditating for like, well, not that long, 2 years, something like that, on and off, right? And I'd say that I've improved my attention span a lot. It used to be really bad. My mom, I remember the times when my mom used to be talking to me, she used to be telling me something, my dad used to be like telling me a story or something like that. I couldn't pay attention at all. They would say one word, my mind would instantly just wander. I'd be like, I wonder what I'm gonna do next on fucking, I don't know, whatever video game I was playing on, fucking Call of Duty or something, Fortnite, bro. But anyway, it's greatly improved since then, but even still, sometimes I do find that my mind still wanders a little bit, right? And that's just the way that I bring my focus back onto what I was doing before. Think about that as one rep for the brain. Think about that as one, you just did like a bench press rep for the brain, basically. You're strengthening the brain this way. And that's basically it. There's still a bunch of nuances to it, but that's just the basics where it's replace your phone addiction, replace the time that you spend on your phone with something else. Whether that's reading something, whether that's consuming educational content, whether that's it, just those two, reading, consuming educational content, because basically what you have is just an addiction to content consumption, that's it. Video games is content, you're consuming that. Porn is content, you're consuming that. And your phone, chances are you're probably not reading on your phone. You're probably, again, consuming content, right? So at least for the time being, consume content that actually helps you a little bit. And whilst you're consuming the content, your mind's gonna think about something else. Your mind's gonna say, you know, what this guy said in this video was fucking stupid, bro. I'm not gonna listen to him. Your mind's probably gonna say these things, but all you have to do is just remember to bring your focus back onto whatever you were doing. That's it. That's really it. But the thing is like, phone addiction is kind of the thing that I think plagues most people, at least. Because you know, times when like, you're in school and you're like walking down the hall, you see like, a bunch of dudes on their phones, don't you? I remember walking in school, I'm waiting outside a classroom, there's fucking 5 people all around me, either side. All of them have got their head down, just on their phone. I'm just like, why? You try and talk to these people as well. You try and say hi to them, try and say, oh yeah, you know, what class you got, what block is next, what time is it, or something like that. These guys, they don't know how to talk. They're just like, I don't know, I don't mean to be like insulting or anything, but it's like, I feel like I as well, because of the amount of time that I spent on my phone, I remember like 3-4 years being in 8th grade or something like that, and being so just retarded, just really just autistic, socially at least. Couldn't speak to people at all. Literally at all. I could not. The only people I could speak to were like my friends who weren't really my friends, and my family. And even then, I didn't really speak to them that much. Why? Because I was playing fucking video games the whole day. Just being on my phone instead. So it's like, it's just so, being on your phone addiction is a real thing. And it just turns you mentally retarded. It really does. Because again, I told you that story. I remember like, my mom telling me a story one day. I remember like dad speaking to me about something important. My brain would just wander. My brain would just think about fucking something else. Someone would try and speak to me. The teacher would come up and say hi to me. Hey, what's up? What class you got? And I'd just be there like, I don't know. What the fuck are you saying, bro? But even, I feel like even then, if you try and speak to a lot of, again, I really don't like to be insulting like this, but again, If you try and speak to a lot of people who are just addicted to their phones, you can just tell, you know what I mean? It's fucked, dude. But I hope this video helps you. And again, even just keeping one of these addictions in your life, any one of these big modern addictions, video games, porn, phone addiction, drugs, anything like that, junk food, alcohol, anything, even if you keep just one of them, literally just one, it will fuck your mental health. You have to get rid of all of them. Probably have a full guide to just quitting addictions up at some point, because I think that's really important. Just get rid of these things. Because you can't be a happy, healthy human being when you're still addicted to your phone. You can't be a happy, healthy human being when you're still addicted to porn, to video, even just one, right? So again, hope this video helped you. Take care.